Previous video we have done with basics of VLOOKUP and how you can insert VLOOKUP function using a false argument. This time we'll see insert function with a true argument. So I'll just mark this thing. So we'll move on to the topic. So right now I'm having a table in which there is salary, and on the basis of the salary I have assigned the grades. Here you can see I have assigned the salary on the basis of the ascending order. So it starts with 25,000 and it goes to 1 lakh. So this is how it goes. So the rule is if you're using a true argument, you need to keep the table in an ascending order. So like the columns should be arranged in a ascending order. So that is the first rule if you are going to do something with a true argument in a VLOOKUP. And so what we will do here is, suppose this is the table. On the basis of this table, the salary will be assigned to the people, and here the grade should come out. Okay, here the grade should come out automatically. I'll just assign the salary to the staff name and the grade will come automatically. So we'll start. First I'll select the grade column. Then again, as we know, as we have seen in previous videos, we'll go to insert functions and VLOOKUP and select VLOOKUP. Here it is asking VLOOKUP value. So this time my VLOOKUP value is this, right? Where I am going to put my input is my VLOOKUP value. Next is the table array. So the table array is my table. Next is the column index. So in last video also we have seen this thing in a very detailing. This time again I can repeat this. So this is column number 1 and this is column number 2. So we'll write here as, and we want this grade to be in on our output, so we'll take as column number 2. So I'll write here 2. After that, here we'll write true, because in last examples we have taken false, so this time we are writing true. True means, you can see here, true is, false is exact match, but true is the nearest value. What is the nearest value it will fetch for you? Because in case the false will fetch the exact match for you. So that is the basic difference between true and false. So if you're working on a table and it has a range of data, then you can use this true argument rather using false. But if it is fixed, like how we have seen our last video, if the things are fixed, then you can use the false argument. So I'm writing here true and I'm saying okay. So as I'm saying okay, here I need to assign some salary. So this time I'm assigning a salary of 27,000 rupees. So once I assign 27,000 rupees, here you can see if the salary is in between 25,000 to 50,000, the grade will be C. So you can see that Huma is assigned with the C grade automatically. Now in simple functions, what we do is we just drag the formulas, right? Like we copy and paste the formulas in all the cells. Okay, here also we can do in VLOOKUP, but the thing is that if you drag it, it will create, or it will give you a problem of like changing array. The array will change automatically if you drag it. I'm just dragging it to show you. If you just drag it, can you see that my array was, see here my array was B2 to C7. So this was my array, B2 to C7 was my array. So this was my range of table, okay? But here if you see my array, since I have dragged it, my array has changed, okay? Can you see my array is changed from B3 to B3 to C8. So this will automatically change the array. So before you drag, so never drag such formulas of VLOOKUP in Excel. Before dragging it, what you can do, you can freeze the array. How do you freeze the array? There's one way you can freeze the array. You can go and click between this, between the column and the row number. and press F4. Can you see the dollar will appear? Again, you have to go here and you have to press F4. So once you have done this, you don't need to, then you can see that this is freeze and then you can simply press. So now you can see that I2 is your VLOOKUP value, then this is the table array and this is the column index and 2 is the argument, right? So now you can drag it. So whenever you want to drag it in VLOOKUP, the simplest way is to go into that formula from where you are going to drag the thing, just go in between and press F4 key. F4 is the function F4 key, not F and 4. F4 key, you have to press F4 function key. Okay, and then you can drag it. So once you drag it, you can see since your table array was already free, so it will not change automatically. Now you can simply assign the salaries. So here if I'm assigning the salary of 78,000 and then again, so I'm just taking it randomly, 80,000 and then 95,000 and then 36,000 and then 55,000. So this is how you can see all the grades will come automatically once you have assigned the salary and the grades are in the output. So before you drag it, you just need to write the formula or insert the formula once and then you can drag it, but drag it with freezing the array and then you can drag it. It won't create any problem for you and this will work like this. So it is very simple. Just need to take care of dragging it. So just press, whenever you're dragging it, just press F4. Just go put an insertion between the column and press F4. So this is the thing you need to take care of it. Then you can simply drag it, no problem. So we have done with this. We have used a true argument. Just remember, I'll repeat it again. For true argument, your column should be in an ascending format, and we use this true argument to find the range of data. Okay, if you want to find a range, then you can use this true argument. If it is false, it will find the exact match. So that is the basic difference between a false argument and a true argument. Next will be move on to, I'll just remove this. So I'll just move on to the next topic, which is just remove the annotations. So I'll clear all the drawing. So next we can move on to how you can drag the VLOOKUP formulas, copy VLOOKUP formulas. So this is already done. I have already done this. So now you know before you drag it, you have to freeze the array. So that is the solution for this. So we have done with this. Next will be move on to, so this I'll mark that this is done. Okay, use VLOOKUP between two worksheets. Okay, now how you can use this VLOOKUP between two worksheets. Okay, so first we'll go here. So now I have worksheet number 1 here, and then I'm taking one more worksheet. So that is worksheet number 4. The old worksheet was worksheet number 1. So my table is on worksheet number 1, and I want the data to be on worksheet number 4. So how we can do it? Okay, suppose your data is on the sheet number 1 and you want the output on sheet number 4. So how we can do it? Same way, it is very simple. Same way again, you can go to insert functions and then you can decide, you have to write your VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP is already there, you don't need to write it down. So VLOOKUP is there. You have to assign the VLOOKUP value. So as you know, VLOOKUP value is the input cell. So you can simply select the input cell wherever you want. It could be anywhere, right, in the sheet. So this time I'm selecting input cell to be as A3. Then I won't be selecting the table array. Rather, I'll go here and I know what column index I want, so just go and check the column index. So what column index you want, you can select this. Just be careful whenever you move between sheets, it will catch that sheet number also. So be careful whenever you're doing this. So my column index number is 2. Then my lookup range is, this time I'm, since it is a range again, so I am writing true again. And this time I'll select the table array. So again I'll go to sheet number 1, since it is on the sheet number 1, so sheet number 1 is there, and I'll select the table like this. I won't go on the sheet number 4 again, because if I go on the sheet number 4 again, this will change to sheet number 4. So never go to sheet number 4 and simply say OK. So now the formula is already assigned in C3 and our input is in A3. So I'll just need to write the input, and my input was to assign a salary. So I can assign a salary, any salary. So I'm assigning a salary of 28,000. So 28,000 belongs to the C grade. So here you can see 28,000 comes in the C grade. So, but here the difference is I have done between two different sheets. You can see our data is on sheet number 1, and what we have done, we have applied a VLOOKUP on sheet number 4. So this is the main difference in previous example and this example is, and the only difference here is the sheet. Okay, we are working between two different sheets. So we'll just go here and we can see the last topic, or this is not the last topic. Well, I'll mark this as done. So this is done. Between two worksheets we have done. Now we'll do the same thing with the two workbooks. Okay guys, so this time we will work on two different workbooks. I have one workbook which is with the name book 1, and I have prepared another one with the name alpha. Okay, so we are going to connect this two workbook using VLOOKUP. So my table is in book 1 and I want the output to be in alpha workbook, right? So I write the salary here which is there in the alpha, and here it will automatically fetch the data from the book 1 and it will provide me grades. So this is how you can connect between two different workbooks. So here the same procedure will again go to formulas and insert function, and obviously get VLOOKUP here. Same procedure you need to repeat. So VLOOKUP value, again there is the VLOOKUP value. Then it is asking you the column index number. Don't put the array first. We'll put the array, table array at the end. Always, whenever you're working between two workbooks or two worksheets, always try to keep this table array, insert this table array at the last. So you don't need to worry at all. Then the column index number. So column index number is 2, right? And this time again I'll use a true argument, and I'll go to the table array. So going for, if you want to select the table array, you need to go to the table, right? So you can go to the table here and you can just select the table and you can say okay here. So that's it. So you can see the change in this formula is this is been given or assigned with the name of that workbook name, and then the sheet name, and then the table array. So that is the difference between this formula, between the previous formula and this formula. And the remaining things are similar, like the column index number and the argument. Same way you can drag this. So what you need to do, if you want to drag, previously I told you, you need to have freeze in pin, but you can see this is already freeze. You don't need to freeze anything here. Since it has dollar sign, that means it is already freeze. Just drag it simply. You don't need to worry anything, and assign the salaries. So once you assign a salary, it will assign the grades automatically. So this is how you can assign the grades: 35,000, then 55,000, then 99,000, okay, and then 22,000. Okay, so all the grades are assigned, but can you see the last one, Ankita grade is not assigned? The reason behind this is very simple, that if you go and see the table, we have not assigned any grade for 23,000 range, right? 23,000 doesn't come under any of this category, right? We have not assigned any grade for 23,000 rupees, right? So it is not assigned, computer is not able to assign any grade to this because it is out of that range. So if you give an value which is out of the range, the computer won't be able to assign a value for that. So suppose if you change it to 33,000, now see it will assign a value. So if you go and if you check here, so you can realize that 33,000 comes under the C grade of salary. So this is how things work in VLOOKUP, and this is how it works between two different workbooks. It is pretty easy. Only difference is in different worksheets, or if you're working on a different workbooks, the only thing you need to take care is this, the array part. So array part, always try to select at the end. If you select it in the end, it won't create any problem for you. Just fill it up with the VLOOKUP value, fill up with the column index value and the argument, and then at the end, go and select the array. So that is beneficial for you. So you won't make any mistakes in this. Okay, next topic is, okay, so we'll see the second and last topic, that is VLOOKUP on a larger data. Here, what we can do is I have a table on sheet number 2, and below there is some name. So I want to fetch the data of Apple. So the salesman name, Mr. Amit, and what sales he has done for Apple. So that I need to fetch. So for this, I can use again the same thing, VLOOKUP. So the thing is that I can again, I'll go here to insert function, then VLOOKUP. Then it is asking me the lookup value again. So this is my lookup value. Then the column index number. So I don't know the column index number this time because I'm working on a bigger data, right? So this time column index number, I don't know because it is not. In previous example, I was having only 2 columns, but in this case, I need to count, right? So we won't be counting it manually. There is one trick we can use to count that thing. First of all, we'll select the table array. So table array, you can select it like this. You can select the table array, select the full table. And after selecting the table, we have a column index number. I don't know the column index number. So what you can do here is you can count it. So how do you count it? You want to get the Apple data. You want to fetch the Apple data. So what you can do for this is you can start selecting from here. So as you see here, you can see on the right hand side bottom, you can see there is the one which is showing you the column number also. So when you start selecting it from the left hand side, it will show you the column number. So as you go, you can go till Apple. Now Apple will automatically give you that column index number. So my column index number, you can see on the scroll bar, it is reflecting, and my column index number is 19. So this time I'll just remove this and I'll write 19, 19. So it is very simple. And here I can write the same this thing. Since there is no range, so I'll be using false in this case. And I'll say okay here. So this has fetched a data of 73 for Mr. Amit. So you can go and you can find, and we can just cross check whether it is correct or not. So we'll go and we'll find Mr. Amit. So Mr. Amit is here on 12 number. Let's go here. So 73 is Mr. Amit. You can see it is 73. So the sales Mr. Amit has done for the Apple company is 73 number, right? So this is correct. Same way again, we'll drag the things. We can drag the formula in this case. So we can drag it again like this. Okay, but if you drag it without the freeze without freezing your table, then again you'll make some mistakes. So just erase it and go here, and what you need to do is simply go between this and press F4 key, function F4 key, and here also between the column and the row number, just click between this T127. So you have to click between the alphabet and the number and press F4 key and then press enter. So this is done. My array is fixed now since it is showing a dollar sign. Then simply drag it and the values will be assigned automatically. So if you're working on a bigger data, you don't need to worry, because there is one simple trick to find the column index number is where from wherever you have selected your array, from that you can start and just go ahead and it will give you the column index number. So if you just move on here, so you can see it is giving you the column index number. So the column index number for Zen is 20, for Apple is 19, for BPL is 18, for Shimano is 17, Firefox 16, between is 15, Gioni is 14. So this is how it works, right? So if you're worried about the column index number on a bigger data, you don't need to worry. Simply drag it on the basis of your array and you'll get it, your column index number. That is explanation on HLOOKUP. So this will be our last topic and we'll wind up this video. So I'll go to the table here. I have prepared the example for HLOOKUP. So basically I'll write the names here and it will fetch the history marks for me. Okay. So this time I'll fetch it on the horizontal this time I'll fetch it and I'll use HLOOKUP here. So again I'll go here, first I'll select my output. As I'm telling from the first video, you have to select your output cell first and then go to the insert function. Here write HLOOKUP. HLOOKUP is already here. Just click here. Now this is lookup value. So as you know, the lookup value is my input. So I select the input. Then it is asking the table array, and you know if it is on one single sheet, you can simply select the table array. And if it is multi sheets or if you're working on different workbooks, then keep this table array at the light. But in this case, it is not required. You can simply select because it is on the same sheet. Okay, next we'll go to the row index number. Can you see there's a change between that word, right? If it is a HLOOKUP, it is asking you for the row index number, but in VLOOKUP, it asks you for the column index number. So this time we'll find what row index number we want, okay? So how do we find it? We'll again go and we'll start counting. So we'll start counting. So you can count from here. So 1, and this is row number 2, and this is 3, and this one for history is 4. So we want this in our output, we want history. So what will be our row index number will be number 4, because we'll start from this 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So we want to fetch history marks. So history marks is on row index number 4. So I'll just remove this and I'll write here as 4. So we'll write in row index number as 4. And this time I won't use the true argument, just because you know I want to find the exact match and not from the range of data. So I'll write as false. So I'll write false and I'll say okay. So now I need to write input to this. So I can write an input that is Sham, SHAM, and enter. So I'll get the Sham marks. So Sham scored 96 in history. So you this HLOOKUP will fetch the history marks for Sham. Same way, if you want to drag it, as how we do in VLOOKUP, before dragging, just go here, press between the column and the row number, and press function F4 key. Again, you can go here, just press between this and press F4 key, and after you have done with freezing of the array, So FO key and FO key. After this, press enter and you'll get, so this array is fixed now, and the row index number here is done, and we have used a false argument, and then we can simply drag like this, and we can keep on writing names like Ankita HT marks, so it will fetch the Ankita HT marks is 62. Then again I'll write some Rohit, and I'll say enter. So Rohit scored 26 in history. So this is how the computer will fetch the data for you as you keep on entering the marks. Just remember one thing: whenever you're using VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, you need to, if you are dragging this, you need to insert or freeze, insert the dollar by freezing that array. So that is really important. And if you're working between two sheets, or if you're working between two different workbooks, then you have to enter that table array at the end. So using this HLOOKUP also, we can take one example of working between two different sheets. So I'll take one new sheet here, sheet number 6 I'm taking, and sheet number 5, five of this, sheet number 5, where I'm going to fetch my data. So sheet number 5 is my original table, and I want to fetch the data on sheet number 6. So I'll write the names here, and I want to fetch, suppose this time I want to fetch English marks. So again, I'll select this English, since because this will be my output. I'll never select the input first. I'll select the output cell. And what I need to go is go to insert function here, and I'll select HLOOKUP, and lookup value is asking, so I'll write the lookup value as A1. Then this time I won't select the table array because we are working between two different sheets. If I select it, then I need to be very careful because the sheet number may change and I may face the error then. So I'll go to the row index number. Now, do I know the row index number? Then I have to go again here to the sheet number 5 and check what is the row index number. So my row index number here is, I want to fetch for English, right? So this is 1, then this is 2, and this is 3. So English is in third row. So what I need to do is I should erase this and write here 3. And again, I'll write a false argument because I'm going to use and find the exact match. So I'll write a false argument. And as I told you before also, that if you're working between two different sheets or two different workbooks, always select this table array at the end. And so you can go here again to the sheet number 5 and select the table array like this. Simply select it and press OK. And here you can write the name, like what name. Suppose I'm writing Ankita and pressing enter. So Ankita scored 32. Computer has fetched 32 in English. So we can just go and check. So Ankita scored 32. Ankita scored 32 in English. So this is absolutely correct. If you want to drag it, the same procedure, you can freeze this. If you want to drag this down, this formula, again the same procedure, just come here between this and press F4, and here also you need to press F4 key, and this is done, and then press enter. So this is freeze. Okay, never freeze this. If you freeze this, what will happen? Your input will also get freeze. You can freeze this. There is no problem in freezing this. Nothing wrong in freezing this, like your lookup value. But the problem is, if you freeze this, then your input will be one single input. So that is we need to take a different example for that. So don't freeze this. The only thing you need to freeze is your array. If you're freezing this, then obviously you're freezing your input cell also, so that every cell will take that same input, and obviously it will give you the same output also. So if you just drag it now, and if you write the names here, so I'm writing the name. So Amit scored 52, and I can eventually write the names, and the computer will HLOOKUP will fetch the value for me. So guys, we have finished with all the topics here for VLOOKUP, and then we have done for HLOOKUP also. We have done between two worksheets, workbooks, and we have seen that dragging, how we can drag this formula. So I guess we have done with this video. So if you like this video, you can surely subscribe my channel and you can hit the like button too. If you want to put some suggestions, please write it in the comment section. Or if you have any queries or questions, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll surely try to answer them. Thank you. Have a great day.